Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Hello. Thank you very much for joining me. If you're watching this on the catch up too, thank you very much for catching up. We're just going to have a sort of general cruise Q&A today. If you have any cruise questions, please start it with question in capital letters, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. They don't have to be just cruise related. If you want to ask me anything about my YouTube career or anything like that, please feel free, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. Good to see you all in the chat. It's so nice to see so many names that I recognize. Some of you have been coming to these live streams for 5, 6, 7 years, which is kind of crazy. I know I've been here that long, but yeah, I really appreciate it. Lots of people in the chat from all over the world. Hello. We've got the USA in here. We've got Australia in here. People from the UK in here. So nice to see you all. I've actually not been away since we last talked. Normally I come back and I have an update on where I've been or what's been going on. But yeah, I've been here. We've been very busy. We have a lot of stuff coming on the Cruise Globe side. And we've been very busy working on the Norwegian Star content. So that should be out very soon. 2 videos I think you're going to get next week. So hopefully you like it. I hope you do. I think you will. You get to see me go down a coal mine, which is pretty cool. Please like the stream. Yes, please, if you can like the stream. It's just a nice kind of indication to YouTube that you do like this, and then you'll sort of see my face popping up everywhere. It'll probably recommend you videos that are like 5 years old and really embarrassing for me, but whatever it wants to do, it can do it. It always recommends it to me, and it will do the most random stuff. It will say, just for you, how about Emma's whatever 27th birthday party? And I'm like, great. That was years ago. Fraser's in here. Hello, Fraser. Nice to see you. He says, how is it already Friday? I thought it was Monday or Tuesday for most of today. To be honest, I don't know. Time is going super fast, and I'm realizing how fast it is going because a lot of the things that we're doing are in preparation for Christmas now, which is crazy. Oh, can't wait to see your NCL Star videos scheduled on her next year. Very nice. I'm very envious. I had a really good cruise on board. Nice ship. Cute ship. Yeah, if you can start your questions with a question at the beginning, it just helps me to pick out what is a question. I will do my best to answer as many as I can. But yes, Sandy's one is all in capitals. I think all in capitals is kind of harder to read, but I'm going to do my best. Please share your thoughts on anti-tourism or cruise visitors shared by port residents and its effect on future cruises. I've never been on a cruise where I have felt any effects of anything anti-tourism. I think what we do see places like Venice, where you used to be able to dock big cruise ships right in the middle of Venice, just moving the cruise ports out of it. And I think that's fine. I think if somewhere doesn't want that many cruise ships, or they don't want any cruise ships, that's their decision to make, right? So yeah, I've never encountered any problems though in any place that I have been. I love the Back to the Future t-shirt. Thank you. I'm glad you got it. Have you watched Amy Bradley is Still Missing, says Max. I think this is the show on probably Netflix, right? About the lady who went missing on Royal Caribbean. You can probably tell by the way I'm not sure that I haven't watched it yet. I might do. I tend to try and stay away from all of the sort of negative things. I did watch the Poop Cruise documentary, and that was okay. But yeah, it's not top of my to-do list. There's other things I'd rather watch. The new Dexter is out. I'd much prefer to watch the new Dexter. So, yeah. Question. NCL Prima Hudson's or the local for embarkation day lunch, hoping to avoid the crowds. You're probably going to want Hudson's. So Hudson's is the big main dining room. The local is the 24-hour sort of bar and grill place. And I would bet quite a lot of money on the main dining room being quieter. I think a lot of people don't think about main dining room dining as soon as they get on board. But I do. And I go straight there, and it's nice. It's so much nicer than the buffet. And the local, I mean, it might not be that busy, but it's much sort of faster in and out 24-hour food. So I imagine people will be getting on in the middle of the ship, and it's kind of closer there. So that's what I would think. Have you ever been on a cruise to Norway? I have cruised to Norway many times. Many times I have done the sort of traditional 7-day cruises you can do from the UK. I've done Norway cruises from places like Copenhagen, and I have done the Norwegian Ferry which was very interesting, sort of at the top of Norway. And I was on Norwegian Star going to Norway again. So Norway is probably, if you look on Cruise Globe, it says the top ports. Mine's obviously Southampton for UK. And then I have Spain, which is Barcelona, because I get on and off a lot of cruises in Barcelona. It's so easy. And then it's got to be Norway. But I don't know which ports. I'll have to look. Do you plan on going on MSC World America? I don't have any plans. I was on MSC World Europa not that long ago, and they're not a world apart. So yeah, not rushing. Jonathan says, how do you have a merch for a timeline that was erased when Marty McFly changed the time stream of his actions of 1955? I don't know, Jonathan. I don't know. You are so darn positive. This is me after 8 days with no Pepsi Max. So this is about as low as I go. I've taken my favorite thing out of my life. And if you still think I'm positive, then that's good. That's good. I'll be more positive when I have another Pepsi Max. Jamie says, oh no, I'm late. Don't tell the boss. Who is the boss here? Hudson? Hudson's not been here yet. Hudson the cat. So you're fine. No one knows. No one knows. Oh my goodness. Captain Hudson and I had a brilliant day in Rome and Vatican City, but it was 37 degrees. Oh my goodness. That is so hot. So hot. What do you like about P&O's Aurora? So I spent 3 days on P&O's Aurora with my mum, and a lot of other cruise YouTubers were on there. It wasn't really planned, but we all ended up being on there together. And it was just a really nice sort of, it's a smaller ship. It's a more traditional ship. There aren't families on there. There aren't kids on there. It hasn't got, there's no acrobats or anything particularly on Aurora, but it just sort of did the basics right. Like the service I thought was so much better on Aurora than on Iona, than on Arvia. So yeah. Any new Captain Hudson books on the horizon? We do, yes, we do. The problem is having so many ideas and being so excited about so many things all at once. So we have 6 books out now on Amazon, and we have 1 more that's ready to go, which isn't a storybook. It's sort of more of a book that you can like pick up and put down and just read, and each bit makes sense by itself. And then we're going to have Rolo, obviously, coming into the stories. So yeah. Can you recommend your favorite cruise YouTubers? That is such a massive question because I have favorite cruise YouTubers for so many different things. For news, I have different ones versus if I want to look at, solo travel or traveling in a wheelchair or, there's so many. So if you have any specific things that you'd like to say, otherwise I could just list off 100 cruise YouTube channels, which is great. And I love them all for different things. So yeah. A neutral flavored squash today. This is water, plain water. For 8 days, I've only drunk water, tea, and occasional juice if I'm out. Yeah, so far it's just taken away some joy from my day. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Favorite port in Alaska? Maybe Skagway. I think Skagway's pretty nice. What happened on Icon? I don't know. I've not been on Icon. What has happened on Icon? Rebecca says, will you be collabing with George and Dan? Saw them on your story. Yeah, George and Dan came to our Cruise Maps office. That was very, very cool. We don't have a cruise collab planned up, but we have more of a Cruise Maps, Cruise Globe sort of businessy collab. If that makes sense. When the UK brings in the plastic bottle deposit scheme, will you still drink Pepsi Max? Yes. Do you follow any YouTubers that work on cruise ships? Yeah, I used to follow Lucy. She doesn't anymore. At Cruising as Crew. Chris, of course, who's on Royal Caribbean. There's other sort of cruise directors who I follow. Oh, Adam says, yeah, I haven't caught up with that news yet. I will see. Someone died on Icon, crew member gone overboard. No, I hadn't seen that yet. I try and sort of keep my head down. I know what I'm focusing on for the day, and I try to focus. It's hard because there's so much stuff happening all the time, and I try and keep up with the news every single day. I normally watch the cruise radio, quick news so I can see it, and then I'll watch more detailed news from Tony and Don. But yeah. No, NCL didn't take us inside buildings, just showed us outside and then free time. Is this normal now, says Louise. Depends on the building. I don't think that's an NCL thing. I think that's just a cruise line excursion thing. Depends what the buildings are. And unless it says on your excursion, you'll be going in this cathedral or this place, then I wouldn't expect to go in anywhere, personally. But it just depends on the excursion. Thanks for your kind comments on my picture with the kilt. Yes, great pictures in our Facebook group. You can see there with Captain Hudson. This is what my favorite thing about the internet is. It is just so cool. Probably on that side for you. I know it's flipped over, but for me, I see him down there. Silly question. There's no silly questions. I mean, the silly questions would be like, do the crew sleep on board, or something really silly. Someone did think that cruise ships had live chickens providing eggs. Feel like that's a bit silly, but even still, if you don't know, you don't know. So I'd never judge. But JD says, silly question. For sailings out of the UK that have stops abroad, do you still need a passport? Always want to see the Norwegian fjords, but doesn't have a passport. Yes, you need a passport. Even if you're doing a British Isles cruise that doesn't leave Britain, you need a passport. So yes, that's a nice, easy one. Keep forgetting you have a Facebook group. What is it called? If you just search Emma Cruises or Captain Hudson, that's the name. So you'll find it on there, yeah. There are some fake ones. Don't join the one that's called like Emma Cruises Crypto Tips. I don't have any crypto tips. That is a scam. But you'll see we have I don't know how many thousands of members, 30,000, 40,000 now. So if you see that one, join. Not sure live chickens would be that unrealistic. I don't think that's a very nice live fried chicken on a cruise ship. I don't know. Don't think we should do that. Andy says, we have our first cruise going through the Bay of Biscay in October. Have you found it to be more rough than smooth in your experience? No, not at all. I've had some bad weather when I've taken cruises sort of from the UK down, but never really in the Bay. No more than outside the Bay. Yeah, I think I did a survey at one point of you all, and I put the results on my website. So if you go on my website, it's just called emmacruises.com, type in Bay of Biscay, and it will say what % of people said that it was rough versus not. And it was almost entirely not. So I wouldn't worry. Definitely wouldn't worry. Do not worry. October could go either way though. When I've had bad weather there, it has mostly been in winter. But it's so hard because it's just asking to predict the weather. When people say, what are the waves going to be like? It's just the weather. I don't know. We're not very good at predicting the weather. Time for my dad's first passport is 71. Definitely for the best. If you are in America, there's a few cruises you can do without a passport. But even still, I would never recommend doing it because say you broke your leg, medically disembarked, and you wanted to get home again. To get home again, you're going to need a passport. So you don't want to get stuck somewhere. Yeah. Jamie says, would you consider Pepsi Max caffeine-free if you need your fix? I don't really like the caffeine-free one, to be honest. I would have it. But yeah. Adam says, are you done with your NCL engagement? That makes it sound like I'm engaged to NCL, which is funny. But we do have 2 videos coming out from my Norwegian Star Cruise. So the video that I'm making on their channel is the one that is about the excursions and about the ports that we went to, the coal mine, feeding llamas, that kind of thing. And then on my channel, we'll get the normal 25-minute, 30-minute story that I've done. So that should be... let's say towards the end of next week so that you're pleased rather than disappointed. And yeah, I have one more Norwegian cruise booked at the minute. Planning my first cruise soon, but my wife has celiac disease and requires gluten-free. How good a cruise is for catering to this? Thinking of going on Viking. I think Viking would be very, very good at this because of the slightly smaller ship size, and Viking's food is so good. It's so good. With celiac, they take it very seriously, as they should, and you might have to pre-pick food for the next day for dinner. In the buffet though, everything they'll normally have like a separate gluten-free section with like bread and muffins and whatever else, and they will have markings and they'll tell you, especially on Viking. I think Viking's a good choice. It's not likely that anything would sort of slip through on Viking. Jimmy says, when did NCL propose? I don't know. Congratulations. Thank you. How many times have you cruised to the fjords? So I have cruised to the fjords with MSC, with Royal Caribbean, with P&O. I've cruised on Harvela. I think that's it for recently. Viking a little bit. I did a little section of a press cruise with Viking. Yes. All good. All good. Are you afraid of scheduling a cruise during hurricane season? No, I absolutely trust the cruise lines. If you think about it, how much is a cruise ship? Like, it costs billions of pounds to build this ship, and the insurance on it is very expensive. They're not going to risk anything, even if you forget about the people on it, which obviously they're not going to put you in danger, but they're not going to put their assets in a place where there's a hurricane, right? So they will maybe start a cruise early. They might, I guess, maybe not afraid, but I might think about it being changed, but not afraid in terms of danger at all. It might be that you have to stay at sea for an extra day because they can't get back, or it might be that, you know, you skip a port or something, but that's about it. Yeah. I would contact the cruise line before you leave. Yes, definitely tell the cruise line if you have any allergies, any intolerances. They normally ask you, but yeah, tell them and tell them again. And then it might be that on the first day you meet the maitre d' or something. They'll tell you what to do. But they will have, like, I have been on galley tours on ships before where they've literally had, when I was on a river ship, they actually had pictures of people, which was quite funny. But they'd have like gluten-free and then 3 pictures, and then like vegan 2 pictures, so that everyone knew, because they would all know. They probably wouldn't do that on Vikings, too big, but they would have, like, they know this is the bit of the kitchen where we do the gluten-free food, that kind of thing. How are the real Hudson and Rolo doing? They're doing very well. Earlier, Hudson was sat on my lap and Rolo was sat on my feet. They like both want to be on my lap at the same time, but you know, that's how close they can be and they don't mind each other, so that's good. Yeah. Roger says MSC has a special form to be filled in a month before. Yeah, that sounds about right. About right. What cruise line would be your first pick for a best price to do the British Isles cruise? British Isles, I always think of Princess, which I know is a bit strange for they're an American cruise line, but they do good British Isles itineraries. You will see British Isles-ish itineraries with a lot of cruise lines. Like, I know Norwegian do some that go just around Ireland and stuff, but Princess seem to be the ones who are doing the full British Isles over and over again. I've done 2 British Isles cruises with Princess. You can check out my video from my Emerald Princess cruise. And I have one that's called something like I visited the top British sites on a cruise. So that'll give you an idea. Ambassador as well. Yeah, do Ambassador do the proper full British cruise? I suppose they do. I've only really looked at shorter Ambassador cruises. But yeah, on the budget side, Ambassador is definitely on the budget side of cruising. The more value side, I haven't cruised with them. Oh, someone is ringing me. That's not good. I can't answer during the live stream. Did you hear that? All right. Do you sell Captain Hudson mascot animals? So we don't have Captain Hudson for sale, but we have First Mate Rolo for sale. The way that this works is that you always have one that's available at a time. So we did version 1 of Captain Hudson, we did version 2 of Captain Hudson, we did version 3 of Captain Hudson, and then after it's done, it is done. It is NCL calling. No. No. You heard the phone ringing, no big deal. It's weird when it comes out of my Mac, which is strange. But hopefully that is it now. It was not NCL calling me. No. But anyway, once we have a version of Captain Hudson, then that's it. And then that's it. And same with Rolo. So Rolo is available for 8 more days and then never again. So please don't miss out, because as soon as we get to 8 days, it'll be like I'll get emails every single day saying I missed it. And I don't want you to miss it. Do you get phone calls from telemarketers selling stuff too? Not really. Most of the phone calls I get are someone pretending to be like a scam, pretending to be from my phone network, or I guess just scams. Pretty much just scams. Normally I put my phone in Do Not Disturb, but I forgot. Most people, like, I don't think anyone who I know well enough would ring me between 5 and 6 on a Friday, because I've done these live streams between 5 and 6 since 2020. Maybe an odd question, but if you took a trip from the UK to the USA, does your body adjust to the time zones due to the speed, unlike flying? Or Or does your sleep and wake up times need to change daily? So I only have done the other way on a cruise. I took a transatlantic from New York to Southampton, and every day we went forward an hour. So we lost an hour. And every day at 12, it would become 1, which honestly was fine. And I didn't really notice. I had no problem with that. Not every day, but most days we would go forward 1 hour. And it was fine. It was fine. Is Cruise Globe available as an app? We're building the app right now. So at the minute, it's just a website, but it's going to be an app very soon. I think September, we're hoping it will be all done. So that'll be exciting. We're definitely, I think people are going to the app store. I call it an app. It feels like an app. So sorry. A lot of that's on me. But yeah, they should be watching already. I know, right? If anyone wants me, they can just come on the live stream and ask a question. Yes, a Cruise Globe app. I know. It's going to be so good, because then once you're in the app, you'll never have to log in again or anything like that, and it'll be really good. But apparently it's not. I'm not a person building the app. I don't know how to do that. And apparently it's a lot. So yeah. Bill says, I checked eBay and there were Captain Hudson books, but no Captain Hudson plushies. Collectors holding them close. Yeah, don't ever buy a Captain Hudson book from eBay, because this is someone buying them on Amazon and then adding like 3 times the price and then selling them. And sometimes people buy them on eBay. So don't. They're all made by Amazon. They're printed by Amazon. They'll be printed in America, printed in the UK, wherever you are. So yeah. Have you heard, I'm sure you have, about people that live full-time on cruise ships? Would you live on a cruise ship? No, I'd miss my cat. I'd miss my dog. I'd miss my family. I'd miss my friends. Maybe when I'm retired, then maybe, but not anytime soon. How do you manage jet lag and time zones? I don't know that I do particularly. Just have to. Just try and sleep at the right time. I'm quite lucky that I can sleep, even if I'm not tired. If someone said to me, Emma, it's 3 p.m., go to sleep, I can go to sleep. I can sleep most places. So I think that helps. But it's just hard to stay awake sometimes, particularly when I went last year to Japan. We were basically going forward, but over the entire nighttime. So we had 2 days without a nighttime, which was quite a lot. So yeah. When are we going to shave your head again? We are not going to shave my head again. We're not. Well, never say never, but no plans to shave my head again. I've done two charity head shaves, and that is plenty. Although I did see a post from me after the first one saying that I wouldn't do another one. So can't trust me. Can't trust me. I changed my mind. Yeah. Aw, Dadabetic says, got my mum set up on the Cruise Globe and she absolutely loves it. I'm glad. It's something you can spend a lot of time on if you want to, but it's free. It's a good hobby. The only danger is you might book more cruises, but that could happen anyway, right? So, yeah. What are your thoughts on Costa? Mates and I were hoping for a cigar-friendly cruise. Ooh, I don't know anything about cigars. General smoking? There's quite a lot of smoking on Costa, so I guess it would be fine for cigars. I don't know. But I liked Costa. I've done 2 Costa cruises. One was Costa Luminosa, and then I did Costa Smeralda. Very big difference, I think, between the older Costa ships and the newer Costa ships. But as long as you go in knowing that it's just going to be colorful and cheap, very cheap, and as long as you're prepared for everyone to be speaking Italian and Spanish and French, which I was, that doesn't bother me, then it's good fun. You know, it's clean. It goes to places you want. It goes pretty much on time. So, no complaints from me. No complaints. Ooh, taking my first Norwegian cruise on the Norwegian Sun in 3 months. Is there anything I need to know that is different between Royal Caribbean and Celebrity? It's just going to be less planning needed on your part. You don't have to book anything on Norwegian Sun, or I didn't when I was on Norwegian Sun. No shows, nothing. Just show up. Same with dining. In the main dining rooms, you just show up when you're hungry. You eat. That's it. You'll need to book specialty meals. Apart from that, though, just chill. Just enjoy. Watch my video on Norwegian Sun, though. It's a very interesting ship. I enjoyed it. Why am I the only one who wants more Mercy ship action? I'm glad. There's plenty of Mercy ship action in the world. It's kind of hard for me just to pop to Sierra Leone, I gotta be honest. And it's not even in Sierra Leone, the ship that I was on. It's in Spain, I think, getting its refit for summer. So yeah. I've never done a South America cruise. No. What do you do if your partner does not enjoy cruising? Separate vacations? Yeah, I guess so. Go on a cruise and leave them at home. Get a new partner. I don't know. In your videos, you always do it in retrospect, with retrospective commentary. Yes, I do. Have you ever done a vlog in the traditional way, recording your reactions on the spot? Yes, I did for many years. I thought that's what you have to do to be a cruise YouTuber, and I did. I didn't like it. I don't think it was good to watch. I just find it awkward and uncomfortable, and I can't put together a story in real time because I don't know what's going to happen. I can't put together like a framework, if that makes sense. So being able to sit down and think, this is what happened. Why did I book this? This is what I was thinking before at different points. Just makes so much more sense to me. Do you have a schedule yet for another Captain Hudson release? No, I don't think so. We've done 5 versions of Captain Hudson, and there's 9,000 of them in the world. So I think we're moving on to Rolo, first mate Rolo, for at least a little while. He's available for 8 more days. So he's the same size as Captain Hudson, and he's the one that you're going to see popping up all over the internet and hopefully on cruise ships, and you'll sort of be able to recognize him. But he's super cute. He's super cute. My one's on a cruise with my friends, the cruise boys at the moment. So, and I have him to show you. But yes, we do have the link. If someone could put the link in the chat. I did put one in there myself, but it seems to have gone. It is just emmacruises.junipercreates.com. They're the ones that make them. Which cruise line has the most smokers? I would need to avoid that line. I think it's the Italian lines. I think it's MSC and Costa. I think maybe Italians just smoke more than Brits or more than Americans. So yeah, it's never really bothered me though. I will say, I don't think it really matters which one has smokers. If you want to avoid one that has smoking, avoid one that allows smoking in the casino. Because on most cruise ships, you can only smoke on the top decks, outside. But on cruise lines, like I took a cruise on Carnival recently, you could smoke in the casino. That was right in the middle of the ship, right by the atrium. Some people said they could smell it like 10 decks up. So that's what you would want to avoid rather than how many smokers there are. If anything, and you don't smoke, it just means everyone else is out somewhere else smoking. I see that as a positive. Like, they can stay there, I'll stay here. I don't need to go there. Everywhere else is quiet. Sounds good. Yeah, Global Mercy is in Spain until August. Yes. Thank you, Jackie, for sharing the link to my Rolo. Yes, thank you very much. We have done 1,154 Rolos. Which is just crazy. That is, I need to obviously work out the exact numbers because I don't get the money until people have, if they return them or refund them or whatever, it doesn't get worked out till they're all delivered, and it takes a while for them to be made, so it's going to be quite a while, but it should be at least £10,000, I think, for the charity, which is a lot of dog food, a lot of vet spills, a lot of hay to keep them warm in winter, so it's going to make a massive difference. Yeah, on British cruise lines, there's a smoking area, but it's easy to avoid. Definitely. How many calories in all those Rolos? You know, I talk about Rolo and 2 Rolo every single day that I completely forget that Rolo is chocolate. Completely forget. Is Rolo also a candy name? Yeah, it's the chocolates that are like caramel inside. Caramel. Yeah. I don't think I've had a Rolo since I got Rolo, though. I see. I love how I can see questions and I can also see other people answering the questions. I think that's really nice. If you could add one dish to the menu for your next cruise, what would it be? Roast dinner and a Yorkshire pudding. Please. I'm always looking for Yorkshire puddings on a cruise. They might have it, to be fair. My next cruise is a British one, so they might have it. Tony says, what is the easiest way for an American to book a cruise on P&O? If you get in touch with my team that I have in Texas, they can get in touch with another team that can book for you. It's not that easy. It's quite complicated. I don't know why, but we can do it. All you need to do is fill in the form, and then we will do it. Rolo is one of my faves. I like Rolos. Yeah, nice. Who has the best pasta at sea? It might be Costa, you know? I know we were talking about Costa being a very budget kind of cruise line, but they do pasta very well. And MSC. Of course, it's the Italian lines. You wouldn't put mandatory ketchup stations next to the pizza. I mean, most of them already have it. I don't feel like this is a fight that I need to fight against the cruise lines. I feel like this is a fight that I need to fight against people who tell me that you shouldn't have ketchup on pizza. Like, the cruise lines seem quite on board with it. If you go on Royal Caribbean, they have the pizza place. It only serves pizza, and it has a massive ketchup thing there. It also has mustard, I think. I don't know who's putting mustard on ketchup. Where should I go for a Sunday roast with a Yorkshire pudding? Depends where you are. If you're in the UK, go to a Toby Carvery. Like, can't go wrong. There's a big chain of carveries, and that's good. Aw, you were very pleasant to listen to. Thank you very much. You wouldn't believe it if you went in my comments. It is just how annoying I am. My voice is so monotone. I'm whining. So it's nice to hear that I'm pleasant. Take that. Thank you very much. Topic is interesting. Thank you for the hard work you put to build a pleasant corner of the internet. I am determined to build a pleasant corner of the internet. It is requiring more and more work to keep it a pleasant corner of the internet, but I just want to create what I want to see on the internet. When I go on Facebook, this is what I want to see. I want to see people taking Captain Hudson to Formula Night, and people asking questions, and people sharing things. And I like people will make friends because they've seen, someone has a Captain Hudson on a cruise ship or something. And that's what I want to see. And I want to see, honestly, I don't want to see another conversation about another package that's more expensive that doesn't include as much. Like, okay, I can't keep up. Can't keep up. Just moved to the UK. Sainsbury's, Aldi, Lidl, Tesco, M&S Food, or Waitrose. Oh my goodness. I mean, Tesco is kind of my. You missed Asda, which is, and Morrison's. You need to go to Asda and Morrison's. But Aldi and Lidl are like the cheapest ones. Sometimes like the fruit and that isn't that fresh, I find, but decent stuff in there. Tesco, Morrison's, Asda, Sainsbury's, I would say they're the same. They're like the big ones. And then if you are feeling fancy, if you can afford it, I mean, you'll never go back, but if you can, M&S Food, my goodness. That is the dream. That is the dream. And Waitrose is sort of, it's all right. It's fine. It does a very good ginger avocado biscuit. It's called Alan the Avocado. That's my favorite thing in Waitrose. Yeah. How can anyone not like Emma? Well, to be honest, I'm quite glad. And I think you sort of worry, well, most people worry if they think about starting a YouTube channel or putting things on the internet that people won't like them. But when you see the things that these people do like, if they also liked me, I would be very upset. Like, I have some horrible comments from people, and people say the most horrible stuff. And if they liked me and thought I would agree with them, I'd be very disappointed in myself. So it's kind of good that not everyone likes you, I think. Emma gets her groceries from Fortnum and Mason. I've never been in a Fortnum and Mason. I can't even say it. You forgot Iceland. Yeah, Iceland is the place where you get all of your frozen food, where you get your Pepsi Max in 24 cans. Yeah, they did free delivery throughout the pandemic, so I always got Iceland delivery. That was good. Lots of people being polite here in the chat, says Thomas. Yeah, we do have moderators who look after these chats as well, though, so really appreciate it. Always working behind the scenes. I see it. The thing about it is when you do a good job, we don't notice, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Iceland, the island. No, Iceland, the shop. Not the name. Not the island. Nothing to do with that. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could bottle you and take it as an antidepressant. Well, hopefully that's kind of what I'm putting on the internet. Like, whenever you need me, you can just put me on in the background and you can literally see me almost just grow up on YouTube through all these live streams. So, yeah. I think I actually... Ginger and avocado. It's not really avocado. It is in the shape of an avocado and it has eyes. It's a gingerbread biscuit. I love gingerbread. And it is in the shape of an avocado and it's called Alan the Avocado. And they also have a unicorn. They have a panda. It's great. It's great. It's not cheap, but if you want to treat yourself, get that. Any YouTubers you'd be starstruck to meet? I get pretty starstruck with most people. I don't think I would say hi to most people because I'd be too nervous. I would really like to meet my friend Will from Trek Trendy. I've never met him in real life. But what that means is I'd have to get on a very luxurious cruise. Or he'd have to come to a budget cruise. So we would see. How many people do you have supporting your live stream? I mean, we have 431 people watching the live stream right now, which is terrifying. Terrifying. Bobby says, do you ban negative people or just delete their messages? So YouTube has a really cool feature, which is called hide. So if someone writes something or they insult someone else and then you hide them, they don't know that they've been blocked. The thing about if you block someone, they'll just make a new account. If you hide them, though, they just comment, they can see it, but no one else can see it. And that's perfect because they can take their time saying whatever they want, but it doesn't like ruin the comments. I will say on YouTube is really good at when people thumbs up a nice comment, they'll always come up to the top, and mean ones tend to fall way to the bottom. The opposite is true on Facebook, I think. And as soon as it's someone being mean, right to the top, everyone else likes it. So yeah, but it's nice. It's nice here for sure. I mean, I have had, I don't know, 800 videos on YouTube now, so I'm very used to every single phrase that people can use to insult me or someone else. A lot of the times I do have to Google what does this mean, and then I find out, oh, that's horrible, and then I'll block that phrase. But after all these years, I have a good list. You know, I do miss some normal comments though, and I apologize if ever you're writing something like, I don't know, insulting a ship or something and saying that is the most hideous, ugly ship I've ever seen. I probably won't ever see it because I've blocked all the mean words. If that makes sense. Joe says, make sure to hit the like button. Yes, if you can do that, that would be awesome. Have you ever been on an ambassador cruise? Have you been on another since the one that ended in a few hours? No, I have not. I would like to. I would not. Have you blocked Emma Likes Ferries? No, I've not blocked Emma Likes Ferries. I would kind of be interested to go on a ferry again, to be honest. I've not been on a ferry for years. I went on Silja Symphony, the ferry from Sweden to Helsinki. That was lovely. That was really fun. That was just after I shaved my head, and so I was very self-conscious. No one really watched the video, but I do have a really weird haircut in that in-between stage. No squash today, just plain water. Yeah, that's my life. I'm on day 8 of drinking water, and it is not good. I miss it. I miss it. I've gone cold turkey. No Pepsi, no squash. How do you order squash or cordial on Cunard? Try on Queen Mary 2, and the bartenders didn't know what I was talking about. I've never tried, to be honest. I've never tried. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know if it's on the menu, is it? Sometimes it is. Oh, we mostly cruise the NCL Haven, but do want to do a river cruise. What line do you think would compare? Oh, maybe you're probably going to want a Viking, maybe like an Amur Waterways. Emerald is very good. Scenic. Most of the river cruise lines are quite luxurious, I think. Yeah. Less than 50% of the viewers have liked. Well, a lot of people are watching in strange places. Sometimes I get messages and someone will say, oh, watch this at the dentist or something, which is cool. Appreciate it. You don't have to like it, of course. But yeah, I do like it, of course. Urban Dictionary. Yeah, honestly, sometimes I have to try and really find out what these phrases mean, particularly when it's insulting people who I would never think, like, I didn't know people thought this way about this group of people, for example, and then I find out these insults that, yeah. Jay says, are Americans welcome worldwide? Absolutely, you are. Yes, you are. If you come to the UK, there's so many random little things that I like to tell Americans to do. I like them to go to Greg's to get a sausage roll. I like them to go in any shop and buy some Ribena squash. Maybe if you can go in a Wetherspoons pub. Like, these are not the touristy things that everyone else says to do. But I think if you're going to come to the UK, yeah. How are Rolo sales doing? We are doing 1,154. I think that's the number, which is crazy. So we have 8 days left to go. We normally get quite a bump at the end where people realize that this is gone. And when it is gone, I'm not kidding. Like, we have been doing this for 3 years and I've never bought back a version. After these ones have gone, they're gone. So please believe me. Yeah. Sam says, go to get a Tesco meal deal. Exactly. Get a Tesco meal deal. I had an M&S meal deal the other day. I had a Sainsbury's meal deal. A meal deal. I can't believe other places don't have meal deals. And I'm about to describe what a meal deal is. But a meal deal is when you go to a supermarket and you get normally a sandwich or a wrap. You get a snack and you get a drink. For the one in Sainsbury's is £3.95. So that's a very normal thing to do if you're on your lunch break. Everyone go and get a meal deal. You can get normally crisps, chocolate. You can get some random stuff. You can get like eggs if you want that as your snack. The M&S meal deal is nice. It is. If you're treating yourself, yeah, if you're treating yourself. I heard earlier, I don't know if this is true, so I'm just going to throw this out to 450 people on the internet. But I heard in America you don't have dog poo bins. Because someone was asking, where do you put your dog poo? And I said, in the dog poo bins. Apparently you don't have dog poo bins? I guess it depends where you are. But we have specific bins just for dog poo. And you can put them in a normal bin, normally. What is your favourite American dish? The first thing that came to my mind was Peeps. The little Easter things, which is not a dish. But I've only ever had those in America. Yeah. Oh, Morrison's has a salad bar on the meal deal. Nice. No dog poo bins here, just general trash bins. Interesting. Can you put dog poo in there? In the normal bins? Not a dog poo bin. Dog food bins? Dog food bins all the time. Take a baggie. Obviously take a bag, but when you put it in the bag, do you have to carry it all the way home again? Because we just go to the next dog poo bin. Oh, sitting in my husband's truck. 18-wheeler. Very nice. I'm all over the world. That's really... It's really cool, but it's kind of strange to think about at the same time. Interesting. I can't imagine carrying poo back. But anyway, Adam says, sorry, I started everyone on the grocery store topic. We love this stuff. We love it. Like, I just love it when I find out something so small and so interesting. And it's like, wait, you guys do this? That's great. Or we don't do that. That makes sense. Yeah, interesting. Salad bar is a name to create your own salad, not the name of a candy bar. I think most people can work out what a salad bar is, yeah. Sam says, got my Rolo order in, hoping he's here before November 1st, and I'll take him on a Northern Europe cruise. Yes, he should be. Once the cart closes, it normally takes, they say 8 weeks. All the other ones have arrived slightly early, but it needs to be made and then shipped out. So, yeah. Oh, Michael's going to Japan in 57 days. Very envious. Donna says, are you doing a fast? No Pepsi. I don't think that's what a fast is, particularly, is it? But I did go cold turkey on the Pepsi, yeah. For a while. Don't apologize, Jack, for starting the... Oh, sorry, someone started the dog poo bin topic. Don't apologize. Buy the silver play button. There's my silver play button. With my Queen Mary 2 print. We have this one on the cruise maps. And this is the formal Captain Hudson. Yes. I think this is... My mum and dad have one of these that I gave them too. Why are trucks in the UK called lorries? Why are lorries called trucks in the US? That's how I'd phrase it. Normally, when we have things like this, like I was looking at one the other day, because we spell curb differently in the US and the UK. So I was like, which one came first? Normally, we actually, in the UK, used to say the American one, and then we've changed it, which is not what you would think. Yeah. Maybe Pepsi can be your cruise-only treat. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think I want a life where I don't drink Pepsi, to be honest. Is it warm on the south coast? It is hot. Yeah, I have my fan on. Hopefully you can't hear it. Curb versus curb. Yes. Emma, you said that you do get seasick. Have you ever experienced discomfort when the sea was underway and the seas were a little choppy? Discomfort? Yeah, seasickness is miserable. It's terrible. But I will say I've been on a lot of cruises, and it's probably under 5 that I've been seasick on. And all of those ones have been when I have chosen something which you shouldn't choose if you get seasick. Like, I made a list on my website of cruises not to do if you get seasick. Don't do a... Northern Europe transatlantic in January. Don't go into the Arctic Circle in March on a ship that is 30 years old. I do these things because it's worth it to me. I think it's fun. But yeah, it has to be something like we're in particularly bad weather, or yeah, in a regular cruise, I don't go on thinking I'm going to get seasick. It's only really if the weather is really bad and they're cancelling ports, that kind of thing. Good morning from California. Hello, California. California, nice. I have been to California, not for a very long time, but I have been. Have you done the Pride of America cruise ship itinerary? Is this the one that's in Hawaii, right? I have not done that one, but I did go on Pride of Aloha in Hawaii, which is the same, like, it was the older version, I think. Lots of people saying how much they love Pepsi. Me too. Me too. I love Pepsi. I could just sit and watch these comments. Leo says, what is the worst cruise line you've been on? The only way I could work out which cruise line is the worst cruise line I've been on is if I sit here and I list which ones I like the most, and then the ones I forgot would be the worst. because none of them, there's never been one where I wouldn't do it again. Some cruise lines don't suit me, but that doesn't mean they're bad. You know, some cruise lines just, I don't want a table share. I don't want to have fixed dining. I don't want to do the formal stuff. I don't want to be at sea for 7 days. But for other people, they love it. So I don't think worse is really. You could do my least favorite, but I could only work that out by which one I would forget. And it'll probably be just a random like 3-day cruise that I forgot that I did in 2015 or something. Is rubbing it in a Britishism? Don't know, Jamie. What does that mean? Rubbing it in like in their face, like Pepsi? Rubbing it in? Don't know. Krusteki says, in the US, the pavement is called the sidewalk and the road is the pavement. The road is the pavement? What? After moving here one day, my mum told some kids on the road and told them to play on the pavement. I didn't know that you would call anything the pavement. I thought we just said pavement and you just said sidewalk. Yeah. It doesn't suit me, but it isn't bad. It's a lovely take. Most things are like that. The only way I think a cruise can be bad is if it is not what they advertise it as, right? As long as they're doing what they say and you paid for that thing and you got it, then it's fine. Unless it's dirty or dangerous. If it's dirty, dangerous, or not what they said it was, that's bad. But apart from that, yeah. Adam says, is it worthwhile to travel to Paris when in Le Havre? If you're someone who has come from California or Australia and you've come such a long way, you're not that far from Paris. If you're someone like me, though, who could get to Paris on the train faster than I could on the bus from Le Havre, then no. Yeah. I like this comment. Says, you can drive on the parkway and park on the driveway. Interesting. I do like to park on people's driveways. There's apps you can use where you pay for someone's driveway. Like you book parking as if it's a car park, but a driveway. I do that quite a lot. It's quite a lot cheaper than doing the official parking at cruise ports. Just make sure you have to, take a picture of your car and where it says you should park and then make sure it's right. Yeah. Every cruise has this target market. That's how they make money. Yeah, they wouldn't exist. They wouldn't. If a cruise line really was bad, it wouldn't exist. And cruise lines don't just fail to exist, really. I mean, I guess in the pandemic, that was a little bit different. But yeah. The cancelled Ambassador cruise was bad. I don't really know that it was bad. I enjoyed a free dinner and a free evening out, and then they cancelled the cruise, and I came home. I mean, it wasn't what I expected. It does fail the 3 test. It wasn't what we paid for. But that's fine. It's better than going on a ship that failed a safety inspection, right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what parkway means. Like, I thought it was like a band. But driveway would be the drive. Yeah. I see a comment that says, I think I'm blocked. I don't think you are because I can see your comment. But yeah. Bin versus trash can. Yeah, that's one of the very earliest Britishisms that we ever had on the channel. It does make me laugh every time someone says, that's not a Britishism. I've heard of that and I'm in Spain, or I've heard of that and I'm in America. I'm not saying stuff that no one has ever heard of outside Britain. That would be impossible. I'm just answering the questions that people leave me a lot, sort of common questions. Parkways are roads that go through parks. Interesting. That makes sense. A nice road where people drive. Another way for the word for the highway. See, all of those answers are so different. It doesn't. I have no idea. Yeah, just checking. Yeah, fair enough. Parkway is the name of the railway station near the airport. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Parkway. Yeah, like Luton, Luton Parkway. Why pay with euros instead of dollars? I don't know what that means. Jay, where? I mean, if you're in a place that is in euros, pay in euros, because then you'll usually just get your bank charge. If you're like in a random shop and they say, do you want to pay in your local currency or not? Pay in your local currency. Well, it depends on your bank. I'm not going to give bank advice. That's dangerous. Have you been on a Margaritaville cruise? I like the spelling on this because this is how I have no idea how to spell that word. My life depended on it. I couldn't spell it. If so, what is it like? I have not been. No. My friend Will from Trek Trendy, he booked like the nicest room, which is interesting because normally people that go on it do the cheapest room. I haven't done it. The new ship looks pretty interesting, but it's just, if it was out of the UK, I'll hop on. I'll try, but it's not. Yeah. Swings and roundabouts. Yeah, that's a Britishism that we've had before. What's with that Twin Pines t-shirt? Twin Pines Mall, California. There you go. Hill Valley. Margarita the drink, margarita the pizza. It is confusing. English is very confusing language. It's super confusing. Super, super, super confusing. Yeah, my goodness. So hopefully you have the links in the chat. One is for the First Mate Rolo. That is available for 8 more days. If you're watching this in the future, I'm sorry, but 8 more days. And the second one, I have set up just the donation page that goes to the charity that we're fundraising for. I quite often get messages from people who say, you know, I want to be included. I want to support them, but I don't need a toy dog, which fair enough. Totally get it. Or sometimes people will say, I don't need a 5th Captain Hudson. Totally get it. So I always try and set up a link just for donations. Sometimes people want to donate more, and like, it's all good. It is all appreciated. It goes straight to the charity, that one. So they'll get that money soon, which is good. Heard in the UK, tap to pay is preferred. Do you agree? Yeah, I have not. I have in at least a year, 2 years, 5 years, not done anything other than tap to pay. I'll often pay on my watch, or my card, or my phone. Yeah, I'd only enter my PIN if, like, sometimes it triggers the PIN because you have done too many taps and you've not done your PIN in a while. But that's about it. It's definitely the default. Definitely the default. Has inflation changed your £100 a night target? Maybe it's different for insides and balconies. I don't think it's changed it. No, maybe it just makes the game harder, but I still manage to do it sometimes. Yeah, Sally says, I do main dining room lunch on embarkation days. That's always good if it is open. On some cruise lines, it doesn't open on embarkation day. On some cruise lines, it doesn't open on port days. On some cruise lines, it doesn't open on any days for lunch. So I do like it. Thank you, Jackie, for sharing the link to make a donation. No plushie link. Yeah, appreciate it. Jamie says, I went to Greece in May, didn't use cash to pay. Yeah, I would say my yearly spend in cash, I don't know, under £50, I would say, for the entire year. And that would be really strange if I would use cash. Yeah, that's, I can't really think of any situation. You know, if you go to a restaurant and you pay on your card, the machine will ask you if you want to do a tip there. You can do that. Normally, if I'm booking a taxi, I'm prepaying it on my phone before I go. Yeah, even public toilets. I know some public toilets charge, but you can normally tap your card. I've been in places in Germany before where it was like 50. I don't know how much the toilet was. Under €1, let's say, and you tap your card. So yeah. Do you do a course on cruising? So I used to have a proper course on cruising with videos. I don't at the minute. I have a email course, which is 23 emails, and it sends an email, I think, every 3 days. And that is everything, you know, start to finish, how to find a cruise, where do they go, what do they say, what do they mean when they say this, what are the drinks packages, how to get not seasick, what is it like in the medical centers, what do you do in the ports, what is tendering, everything is in there. I am in the process of turning that into a video. It is gonna be probably an hour and a half long. It's really long, but I wanted to just put everything I know. So yeah, for now, get the emails, please, and look out for that video that hopefully will come out before the end of the year, maybe. Yeah. I don't have the audio course anymore. I did have an audio course, but I don't have that anymore. It was just too expensive to keep selling. It's expensive to sell things. I don't think people realize. It's expensive for me to send you emails as well. It's really expensive. So please, yeah, I want to send you them enough that I'm costing myself money to send you emails. So please go to emmacruises.com/insiders guide. That's where you'll find that one. Can you go on a cruise to get rest and not get involved in the activities? Yes, you don't have to do anything on a cruise. The only thing you have to do is your safety drill on the first day. Apart from that, that's it. That's the only thing you have to do. If you never wanted to leave your room, fine. If you just want to leave your room to go and sit in the library, to go and sit by the pool, to go to the buffet and then come back to your room, totally fine. You have to do anything. And that's what's so good. What's the thing you have to register to go to the UK? I don't know what that means. Sorry. Are you talking about the visa that you need if you're coming from the US? It's very similar to the one we've had going into the US for since I can remember. Quite easy to do, cheap. Yeah, ETA. Yeah, same thing. We've had an ESTA when we go to the US for, I don't know, ever since I remember. So yeah, same thing. Oh, I love the audio course. Downloaded it and listened to it when I wanted to feel excited. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. Congratulations on 400k. Thank you very much. 400k. Bonkers. Bonkers. Oh, you sent so many emails and I haven't replied to you once. I feel bad now. That's not the point of the emails, Jamie. Like, I just want to tell you stuff. That's why. Joe says, quick fire question. Favorite ketchup in the UK? My favorite ketchup at the moment is the one from Waitrose, which is cheaper than anything else. It is 95p. It is good. Does your partner not like to be on camera or microphone? Watched a couple handfuls of your videos and wondered of his opinions. We respect his privacy if that is what he prefers. Yeah, he much prefers to be behind the camera, which works great for me because I need someone to film things and I'll be the one walking around in front of the camera. He's almost always behind it. He's the one sorting out, how do I get this footage off this camera and all that kind of stuff. Organizing everything, but always behind the scenes. Yes. Yeah, the visa for the UK was super easy. Got the answer in 15 minutes. Yeah, yours is much faster. Our one to go to the US takes a longer time, and you have to give a lot of information. You have to give your social media, and yeah, it's quite a lot. The one coming to the UK is much easier, I think. Getting cruise travel insurance, would you recommend the cheapest? No, I wouldn't recommend the cheapest because I'm sure it doesn't include as much as you're thinking. There's a reason why it's cheap normally. I have a guide. I normally use a comparison site. So I will put in all my details, get a comparison site. And then if I'm looking at certain things I want missed port cover. I want the medical limit to be enough to go on the cruises that I'm going on. But by the time I filtered that down on the comparison, then I'll probably get, the fifth from cheapest, stuff like that. So yeah, if you go on emmacruises.com, or maybe someone can share the link, I have a really in-depth insurance guide. It has the comparison sites that I use in the US and also in the UK. So yeah, it's not a specific provider. I don't recommend one provider, but yeah. What did you have for lunch? I'm curious since watching the podcast. I had some pasta, I had some tortellini. Nice. And a dairy milk. No Pepsi. Yeah. Yeah, Heinz ketchup is great. But, I spend a lot on ketchup. So Waitro's own one is doing well. Video production is getting better and better, says John. Thank you very much. My brother edits my videos, so I will tell him that. We have got 2 minutes left on this live stream, so please let me know if you have any super quick fire questions. I will be here at the same time next week. We have a very exciting, I hope you're going to love it because it is, yeah, I think you are. We have a launch from Cruise Maps next week. So watch this space. It sort of relates to something you probably already have somewhere at home, and it's just super cool. It is exciting. I'm excited, but I can't say that until next week. Do you find Captain Hudson's in your house like most of us find lint? No, because Rolo would eat them. Rolo would destroy them, so they are protected. They have to be protected. The other day I was laying on my phone. I had Rolo, the toy, up on the windowsill, and Rolo, the real dog, so silently got up, put the toy in his mouth, and walked away. And then I thought, he's quiet, suspiciously quiet, and I had to take him away from him. What tricks does Rolo know? He knows how to sit. He knows how to do paw. He knows how to do the other paw. He knows how to spin around. He knows how to wait. He knows how to leave a treat on his paw. He's quite good at that. Yeah. Live action globe. That's just that is going on a cruise because there is live ship data in globe, but we can't make it any more real. Yeah. Jack says, thank you very much for making my lunch hour very enjoyable. My goodness, you have so much Friday left. It is dinner time now. Question, hasn't it already been released on the Cruise Globe, says Matthew. Yes, Matthew, but quietly. Quietly. There's something new on Cruise Globe, but we haven't launched it yet, probably. So, yes, you're very sneaky. You're very sneaky, but thank you for finding it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Has Rolo eaten the Captain Hudson plush? He hasn't yet, but given the chance, he would. Yes. He would just. He doesn't want to eat it. He just wants to deconstruct it. He's just very good at like pulling off the hat and stuff. So I only have one of each version. I'm not risking it. Not risking it. Yeah, better than eating the real Hudson. Oh, you would not dare. Hudson's in charge. Cats are always in charge of dogs, I think. But yes, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for this live stream. I will be live next week at the same time. That will be 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been nice to talk to you, as it always is. All right. Have a nice day, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye.